Assistance animals are those which are specially trained to perform tasks to alleviate an individual's disability. For example, guide dogs who provide orientation and navigation for people who are blind or vision impaired. As a form of assistive technology, these animals provide great benefit for their handlers, allowing inclusion and accessibility across the community. However, there's virtually no guidance available for New South Wales public schools in regards to the presence of an assistance animal in the classroom. Assistance animals come in all shapes and sizes to mitigate various individual disabilities and receive protections under the Federal Disability Discrimination Act to accompany their handlers in places where pets are prohibited. Assistance animals differ greatly from therapy animals, which are regularly found in schools, providing companionship and support to multiple staff and students. The New South Wales Department of Education Support Dog Guidelines of 2021 do not address assistance animals in any great detail, other than referring inquirers onto another document which is listed on the website as coming soon in early 2023. In fact, the definition of assistance animal provided is incorrect, as there's no possibility of accreditation under New South Wales law, nor mandatory completion of a public access test to achieve status of assistance animal. These guidelines instead provide recommendations to schools who utilize therapy dogs in classrooms to support staff and students. But even here, the qualifications and experience required by animals and trainers is inadequate and non-specific. The same is true of similar policies from other state and territory governments across Australia. Therapy dogs are becoming increasingly popular in educational settings due to their wide-ranging benefits for students and staff. Numerous studies have shown that the mere presence of these animals can significantly enhance the well-being of students, fostering a calming and supportive environment. Entire classrooms receive positive effects such as reduced stress and improved focus. However, there are no articles or policies specifically covering the presence of assistance animals in schools. Furthermore, the lack of specific legislation governing assistance animals in New South Wales means that we need to rely on federal laws which fall short. The New South Wales Support Dog Guidelines are outdated, incorrect, and fail to address the nuances of terminology and practical implementation. This oversight highlights a broader issue of insufficient understanding and acceptance of assistance animals, underscoring the urgent need for revised policies that reflect the invaluable roles these animals can have in schools. Socially just leadership emphasizes fairness, equity, and inclusion in the change process and involves making decisions that consider the diverse needs and perspectives of all stakeholders. By leading with a commitment to social justice, leaders can build more inclusive and resilient change management processes that requires the balancing of both mechanical and human elements to allow for seamless transitions and sustainable success. When implementing change, it's essential to recognize social constraints which encompass the relationships and human dynamics that influence how change is perceived and adopted. Resistance to this change is often more pronounced when it involves these aspects. Effective change management must prioritize strategies that address these human aspects to minimize resistance and facilitate smoother transition. Effective change management is also enhanced by participatory action research, communities of practice, and professional learning communities, which seek to involve stakeholders and democratize the change process to build a culture of continuous improvement and collective responsibility. Following the mafia model, where rapid top-down changes are imposed by a select group of elites, will simply prevent successful change. So to avoid this, change should be implemented through inclusive, transparent processes that engage all levels of the organization. To drive meaningful change, a well-articulated change proposal like this one we're going to present today is essential. It outlines the proposed policy changes as a roadmap for this change, ensuring all stakeholders understand the objectives and roles in the process. For change to be truly effective, it must enhance organizational performance, individual performance, and the overall performance of change management initiatives. By focusing on these three performance areas, organizations can ensure that the change effects lead to tangible, beneficial outcomes. To counter challenges of our continually evolving world characterized by volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, leaders need to be adaptive and resilient and equipped to respond to unexpected challenges and opportunities. In this, trust and collaboration are the cornerstone of the day. To develop a successful change plan to better integrate assistance animals into New South Wales Public School, we'll follow the ADCAR organisational change model, which is a set of goals that focuses on stakeholders affected by the change. It considers both project and technical management as well as people management. This bottom-up model focuses on motivating individuals to change, but it has been criticised as being overly specific. However, it is highly practical and widely used. ADCAR is broken down into 5 outcomes, which we're now going to consider individually. Awareness is the foundation of any successful initiative. It involves cultivating an understanding of why change is necessary and ensuring everyone is on board and recognises the importance. We need to address several critical areas to do this, including acknowledging the lack of policies to protect students and staff, and developing comprehensive guidelines is a necessity to ensure the safety and well-being of students, staff, and assistance animals. Additionally, we need to bridge the knowledge gap requiring that assistance animals be kept outside of schools, particularly for teachers who may also need them. Clear and accessible information about the benefits and appropriate use of these animals will help dispel misconceptions and foster supportive atmospheres. We also need to address the confusion around federal and state laws, providing clarity on the legal frameworks governing assistance animals in schools. We need to essentially educate everyone on the role and responsibilities of having assistance animals present, ensuring all stakeholders understand their duties and the support required to make this integration successful. Through targeted education, policy development, and open communication, we can build a robust awareness that paves the way for meaningful and effective change. From my personal lived experience as an educator, having an assistance animal in school is challenging. Staff don't understand, but then the students also don't understand because they form the wrong impression. This complicates the situation for my safety, the animal's safety, the staff and students' well-being. Proper education and awareness can transform these challenges into a supportive environment where assistance animals are recognised for their essential and vital roles. My professional experience supports this need for change, as does peer-reviewed literature. The Working Animals Federation of Australia advocates for this change, but so many requests to have an assistance animal on campus are denied simply due to the lack of understanding of advantages, legal recognition, and the interplay of various laws. There's also confusion as to whether access can be denied on private property, such as non-public schools, and what level of training an assistance animal requires, and the definition of hygiene. This results in missed opportunities for where there could be a significant benefit from the presence of the assistance animal. Studies have shown that the presence of therapy animals, even without direct interaction, creates more positive and calming atmospheres. This allows teachers to spend more time with various other students, as the assistance animal will manage the specific needs of that student effectively. If the teacher has the assistance animal, they'll be more confident and competent in their role and have a more inclusive and accessible learning environment. And apart from which, assistance animals are teaching tools. They foster soft skills such as empathy and responsibility. Providing knowledge on how to change is crucial for effective implementation. To implement change, we need comprehensive training and information. Staff training highlights the benefits of assistance animals and will detail new policies and procedures. Ensuring accessibility, such as designated toileting areas and having supervisors for children under 16 are also crucial steps. Educating students on proper behaviour around assistance animals and training teachers to integrate these animals into the classroom is vital. Gaining stakeholder buy-in and understanding the animals' welfare are also key components. By providing the necessary knowledge and skills, the school can easily implement these changes successfully. Practical application of skills through hands-on practice, coaching, and feedback is also crucial. Professional development courses led by experts in the field and workshops for students to learn appropriate behaviour are vital. Developing policies with stakeholder input also ensures they're comprehensive and relevant. Continuous feedback from staff and students will aid in improvement, and coaching teachers on classroom integration and modelling of an appropriate interaction will support practical application. We can also take regular surveys before, during, and after to assess the change impact and whether it's positive. Sustaining change requires embedding it into the school culture. Mandatory annual training on assistance animals for staff, quarterly check-ins with professionals in animal behaviour and welfare, and regular communication with parents and caregivers about the benefits and available ongoing support is vital. Teachers should have access to ongoing support to foster continuous improvement. And simply normalizing the presence of assistance animals is vital for them to be integrated seamlessly. These practices will ensure the long-term success and acceptance of assistance animals in our schools. Assistance animals provide vital support to individuals with disability, allowing them to integrate fully into everyday life. This includes in schools, but they're rarely absent in most of our schools at the moment. But to maximize their effectiveness and ensure the safety of staff and students, we need to integrate them into our schools using comprehensive support systems and policies. Change management is a structured process that will allow us to do this. We'll move from a current state to a desired future state where assistance animals are accepted and they're normalized. The ADCAR model is the way that we will do this by following this clear framework to manage the change and address the human aspects of the transition. Applying the ADCAR model in this context will allow us to provide better support to staff, students, and animals, to make sure we're more inclusive, and to ensure that everyone understands the change, is motivated to support it, knows how to implement it, and we can sustain it over time, resulting in a more inclusive, supportive, and effective educational environment for everyone. Here's the array of legislation that we need to be aware of when working with assistance animals in schools. This doesn't even consider the case law that's available and relevant.